Alright, so this is this month's tier list. I'm just gonna go through, review what I say. It's almost midnight. I don't really uh I mean I care that it's almost midnight, but like I have time. I'm doing it now. Anyways, Five Nights at Freddy's Into Scraps. It's in C tier. It's a game. I'll be honest. When it comes to the games that I played at the beginning of the month, I don't really remember it all that much, mainly because it's been a month. But anyways, the next one is Clouded Judgment. Again, it's a game. I'm sorry, I don't have much to say about the early games of the month. Anyways, next is Print Taxes and Try to Survive. It's in D tier. Why? It sort of just was. It didn't have an end. It just sort of seemed like an endless game where there were no sounds and the instructions were unclear. Floaty's Redux. I believe it was called like One Night at Floaty's Redux. Hold on, let me. I probably should actually have the names up. That was One Night at Floaty's Redux. It is in D tier because it just sort of was, and it also got my YouTube video a copyright strike. Next up is Five Nights at PP World. It's in C tier. Despite the silly name, it was actually a pretty well-balanced game. The visuals could be better, but I think it was a joke game, so it's excusable. Next up is One Night at Phoenix. It's in D tier. It was a little glitchy. It was a little, I don't want to say it looked bad, but it didn't look the best. But yeah, that is an assessment of the game. I am wording. Soupy's Clubhouse 2, or One Night at Soupy's Clubhouse 2, is in C tier. It was a game. I didn't understand half the mechanics, but it was a game that I played. Phantom, I still can't pronounce it. C tier. It was FNAF 3, but with anime girls and free roam and unclear objectives, and also it was laggy on my computer, which, to be fair, was not on the game. That was not the game's fault. That was no one's fault, really. I just need to get a better computer. I guess that's my fault. Anyways, the next up is The Seed of Danger. It's an S tier, baby. I like the game a lot. It is the only game out of every game that I've played that I've actually went back to off camera to play. It's fun. It has replayability because you can. It's like, it's like a roguelite, so you can choose stuff as you play the game. And unlike other games where you play a night and you're done, you have to redo the game. But since it's a roguelite, it works. It just works. Also, it uses the music box really well. 3 separate times, which is very impressive for a game. If you watched my short about the music box, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, next up, Chris and Rita's. It's in C tier. It's a okay game. It's a game. It's an average FNAF fan game. It was actually the only one that was sent to me by a fan, and by the only one sent to me by a fan, I mean the only one where a fan sent in their own game that was actually like able to be played in the series, because a lot of people suggested Ultra Custom Night, which I couldn't do because that was released like at the very least 2 years ago, so can't do that. Anyways, next up is the Carney Land demo. I'm putting that in B tier. If I was basing it as a game, I would have put it in C tier or D tier, one of those tiers. But since it's a demo, there's time for improvement, which is also something that I've been. I am wording very much. Anyways, next up is what's the game? It is One Night at Shredder's 3. It's in C tier. It was a game. A Halloween Night gets also C tier. Wow, it took 13 days for me to play an actual Halloween based game in November. Uh, that's how far back I stockpile games. But yeah, it is a Halloween game. It was pretty fun. If my computer was less laggy, it probably would have been better. That's not on the game. That's on me. The Five Nights at J Bob's is in C tier. It's a game. Mayalo Project Replacement Beta is in D tier. I don't exactly know why I put it in D tier, but if I put it in D tier when I was ranking it, it was probably for a reason. I don't know what. Actually, I'm gonna. Before you ask, yes, I am actually looking up that video on my computer just so that I know actually what problems I had with the game. On Shredder's Halloween Night, J-Bombs. Malo Replacement. Hey guys, Thunder Hashtag here. This is a game called Malo. Oh, now I remember why. Okay. It didn't work. I mean, like, technically it did, but it didn't give me enough time to actually use the mechanics it gave me to stop the animatronics. They're just sort of free to move around. And it essentially had 3 different music boxes, all of which had to have 100% attention at all times on the first night. That doesn't even work on later nights, so... Uh-oh, that's not good game design. Anyways, Five Nights at Leo's 5 demo. There it is, right next to those games. God, I need to remember what these games were. Hold on. Hold on. What did this game look? Oh, wait. Oh, I remember. That's the Halloween game. Yeah, it was okay. It killed me a lot, but if I actually was good at video games, I probably would have done a lot better. Next up is Five Nights at Pinchy's Resurfaced. It's down there. Why is it down there, you may ask? It looked good. It played pretty well. None of the animatronics moved on night 2. And I think I did night 3 too, but none of them moved. That's the only reason why it's that low. Although if I was going by my own rules, I should have put it in D tier, but I was nice and put it in C tier. Because it actually had cameras that worked, and it had atmosphere. I don't actually remember if it was a demo or not, but if it wasn't, then uh-oh. Next up is Chica's Party World Rebaked. It is an S tier. It is a really good game. It had the atmosphere, it had the gameplay, it had it has the storytelling, it had voice acting, which is rare. Like, out of all the games on the screen right now, I think only like half of them have an actual human saying things into a microphone for it, and even less of them are pre-recorded or not pre-recorded stuff. Anyways, next up is, I believe this was Ultimate Custom Night Plus demo. Where did I put it? I put it in C tier. It's a funny demo. I put it next to the other demo that I made. And also it's the troll, so that counts for something. 4 jumbos at Josh. It's in C tier. Why? It was a game. It certainly was. And I think it also broke for me halfway through, so that happens. Inside is at C tier, but only because I did not know how to play the game. It does not tell me where things are. It tells me that I have a camera, that I have a flashlight, and it doesn't tell me where they are or how I can use it. Yeah. Anyways, the Mimic Creation. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the Mimic Creation. It's in D tier. Why? It's too long. Creating the Mimic takes too long. And I'll be honest, it didn't look that good either. Like that. Yeah, it certainly was a game, but it sort of. I mean, the Mimic model looked pretty good, but the presentation of it wasn't all that good. It just sort of was, honestly. Next up, Five Nights at Candy's 3 Alternate Dimension. It's in C tier. Why? Because it's pretty much just a custom night. A good custom night, mind you. But if it's going to be Five Nights at Candy's 3 in an alternate dimension, I want it to feel like Five Nights at Candy's 3 from an alternate dimension. You feel? Like it was still pretty good for that, just not as good as, like, you know, other games up here. Next up, Resident Nightmare. Five Nights at Freddy's Resident Nightmare. It is down there next to Inside. I don't remember why I put that there. Let me actually see the game jolt page, see if it jogs my memory. I remember why Bonnie kept on killing me. It's because of Bonnie. I blame Bonnie. Blame Bonnie, the 12V. 12V? The 12V. Blame Bonnie for your game being this slow, 12V. The 12V. Anyways, FNAF World 2. Down there. It disappointed me. Fazbear Factory. It's in C tier. It would be pretty good if it wasn't so long. That was my only hour-long video. Like, Vanessa got close, but that's because there is story happening, and I was actually doing stuff the entire time. I was AFK for most of my playthrough of Fazbear Factory. I went downstairs and made and ate a sandwich. And nothing happened. That's it. Nothing happened. Anyways, after that is The Big Night. It's an A tier. Why? It was a good custom night, actually. If I was better at video games, I probably would have beaten it. But it was pretty good. It was fun. I'd probably do a Let's Play of it if I were asked to. So, if that's something you want. Actually, for any game that is in A tier or above, if you want me to do a play, I'll actually extend it down to, like, B tier. B tier is a maybe, but A tier and S tiers are definitely. If I'm asked to do playthroughs of them, assuming they don't have any game-breaking bugs that happened, I'd happily do a Let's Play of those games, like series where I complete the games, but probably not this year. I have a lot of fan games. Anyways, that was The Big Night. It was pretty good. The animatronic designs could be different. I mean, right now they're just sort of boxes, but to be fair, I believe the people making it are literally called the Box Team, so what do you expect? Next up is Sister Location Rewritten. It's in D tier. Why? Biddy Bab. The Biddy Bab was a Biddy Bab. And he kept on killing me. Oh Lord, he kept on killing. And I don't know why. And then Ballora killed me at the end. But that was Ballora. Yeah. Anyways, next up is FNAF World the Corrupted Chaos Yendo Edition, which is the longest name of a fan game so far. It has two colons. Anyways, where did I put it? It's in B tier. Why? I thought it was kind of funny. Just like, oh, I didn't put this character in this game, and everyone wants me. So instead of putting it in the game, I'm gonna make an entire game where I don't put him in the game, which is just really funny. And what's even funnier is that they ended up putting him in the game. Or, I mean, at least that's what it looks like from the game banner. But anyways, that was FNAF WCC Endo Edition, which is what I named the sprite because the entire name would be too long. And I wanted the fact that it's a long name to stay. So, anyways, last one, Joy-Cons 2. I believe it was called Joy-Cons Funland Part 2. That is in B tier because it was pretty good. It wasn't like exploratory. It wasn't like exemplary. That's the word. Exemplary, but it was pretty good. Pretty good. If requested, I'd probably play the first game too if I can figure out the OBS situation. Anyways, that's the tier list for this month. Goodbye.